But first, I want to cut through the spin or the lies of this latest ban on Australia Day. Oops, another attempted ban of Australia Day. I mean, some companies really are slow learners, aren't they? And one just got schooled today. This time it's Australia's second biggest pub group, Australian Venue Co. It's run by this guy, Paul Waterson, who didn't seem to realise the world has actually changed quite quickly. He said, no to Australia Day, he and his team. No to Australia Day before they finally got hit today by the reality hammer. No, they said, our 200 pubs and bars across the country, they're not going to celebrate Australia Day, they're not going to acknowledge it. I tell you what, these guys can't read a room or even their front bar. For hospitality guys, they sure are deaf. They said Australia Day is a day that causes sadness for some members of our community. So we have decided not to specifically celebrate a day that causes hurt for some of our patrons and our team. And already I'm thinking, what is this? Some of their patrons and some of their staff, you know the type, don't like Australia Day. So no one else may celebrate it in their pubs. How intolerant are these people? Now, I actually doubt that Waterson surveyed his staff to ask how many really did hate Australia Day. That's just the bloke thing to do, I guess. But I am sure that he didn't get the message when 60% of Australians said no last year to The Voice and all that race politics. And nor did he learn from the hammering that Woolworths got from its customers just last Australia Day when it banned Australia Day merch. I just wonder how these guys could have missed it. You know, Woolies had a consumer boycott and got a pile on so bad that it had to eventually announce it would sell Australian flags again. And guess what? Big surprise, the very same has now happened to Waterson's Australian Venue Co. I mean, you had talkback, you got social media, you got newspapers. They sure let them have it. Their customers must have rioted as well. You can see where all this was going. You know, talk again of another boycott. And no wonder. I mean, you'd be mad to hold an Australia Day party in one of their pubs like the Esplanade Hotel in St Kilda or the Duke of Wellington in Melbourne or the Cargo Bar in Sydney or the Regatta Hotel in Brisbane. You had News Corp newspapers even printing the full list of these anti-Australia Day pubs in today's Herald Sun or Daily Telegraph. Sky News had a list. In case you felt that these people must be such miserable scolds and so worryingly unpatriotic that you'd rather give them a miss, and not just on Australia Day. Well, whoop, 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 alarm bells must be going everywhere. So by mid-afternoon, this pub chain folded even faster than Woolies, saying, we can see that our comments on the weekend have caused concern and confusion. We sincerely regret that. Our purpose is to reinforce community in our venues, not divide it. It is not for us to tell anyone whether or how to celebrate Australia Day. We acknowledge that and we apologise for our comments. Okay. That said, that's not quite the full apology, is it? I mean, that statement is ambiguous. It says you can still celebrate Australia Day in the pubs. You won't be thrown out on the street. But it doesn't say that the pubs will celebrate it. Have a little sign there maybe, or, you know, a little flag even. So as I said, I want to cut through the spin. I think it's still necessary. The spin that you hear so often from the Watersons of this world. You know how it goes. Oh, we're not against Australia. Oh, no. We're not against the day to celebrate our country. We just don't like celebrating on Australia Day, January 26. It's that day. The day Captain Arthur Phillip landed in Sydney, British convicts, the start of white settlement. That's all. Pick another day, they say, and we'll be celebrating with you. To which the answer is, which day? Really, which day? Why don't they ever pick one, an alternative date, and then promise, if it's that date, I'm going to be celebrating Australia too. You almost never hear them give a date because it doesn't exist. Because this hatred of Australia Day is really a hatred of Australia. It is. The haters don't want to celebrate Australia on any date because what supposedly upsets them is the very fact of Australia's existence. That people from all over the globe came here, starting with the British, and made lives here in a political system founded by the British. That's what offends them. Any day you pick will be a day of, oh my goodness, what misery we've caused and blah, blah, you know, the whole thing. And I think their anger is actually fake, or it's built on a delusion. I mean, who seriously thinks that this country would have been richer, freer, healthier and happier and more productive without what the British brought and what immigrants brought after them? I mean, who still truly wants to run around trying to hunt game with a spear without Western medicine, without Western technology and the rest? It's fake. Even more, January 26 can and should be celebrated by everyone because it marks the day when we all had to learn how to live side by side with people very different from ourselves. Look around. We have made a very great go of it. And if we can't celebrate that, we're going to fall apart. We would be spitting on our good luck. And that's why I reckon many Australians now, particularly with tough times, you know, we know the money and the concern now for all this wah. I reckon many Australians have had it with that ignorant contempt for the day that should unite us. They've had it with this country now flying 3 flags, not 1. They've had it with being welcomed to this country as if they were strangers here. And they've had it with, to now have as their Governor-General an activist who used to call Australia Day Invasion Day. And you know, it's so much so that it says, I think it says a lot, that even Labor MPs today, everyone that I heard anyway, including the very impressive New South Wales Labor Premier, Chris Minns, they wanted no part of this ban today.
I think it's still an important day for the country. I genuinely do. I don't think that you can have a sense of national purpose unless you can rally around these important national days on the annual calendar. And these are matters for private companies. I mean, we don't dictate from the government when and where people should celebrate.
So what a shock Paul Waterson and his team must have had. They really were on their own. To make this big announcement, think they get applauded for their great morality, and they got a chorus of boos. Not even Labor politicians sticking up for them. No wonder they gave up so fast. Now, will the rest of corporate Australia now learn the lesson? Just do your job, sell us the groceries, serve us the beer, and leave the politics to your customers. And is it really that hard, guys, to look at this great country and just say thanks?